Hey everybody, it's Mrs. Curtis. Today I'm going to be showing you how to draw these awesome Keith Haring characters dancing on a fabulous dance floor. Now, for this project, you do need to draw 2 or more characters. That's really important. You have to have at least 2. If you want to draw more than 2, you can, but you have to have at least 2. And I'm going to show you these steps. For this, you're also going to need a pencil and a dark outlining tool. So you could have a black marker, it can be a black crayon, but you're going to need a pencil and then some kind of black outlining tool as well. Let's get started. We're going to be drawing the characters, and since we're making 2 of them today, I'm going to start with my paper the long way so I have room for both my characters. And I'm actually going to start by drawing a stick person. We're going to keep it really simple, and I do need to start with a pencil today as well. So it might be a little trickier to see it on the screen, but I'll try to press hard enough for you to see. So when I start to draw, I'm going to start with his head. And I want to draw pretty big. This is a pretty good size circle. I don't want to start really tiny because then I won't have enough to fill up my picture. So I started with a pretty good size head. Then I'm going to start with then I'm going to go to the body. So I'm going to draw my stick going down. And from my body, or the bottom of my body, I'm going to start to draw the legs. Now, here's where I get to decide how they're going to look. I don't want to just make them straight out. I want to make them look kind of like they're bent. And I think we're going to go with a knee up, bent up, and then back down, like he's taking a big giant step. And I'm even going to add just a little tiny bit here for the foot. And you'll see why in just a minute. All right, my other leg, I'm going to have coming down. Actually, I think just in a straight angle like that. And then I'm going to add another little foot at the end of it. I'm going to come back up to about where the shoulders will be. You want to be careful when you're doing the arms not to put them way down here at its belly, because that's going to look really strange. So we're going to look at where his neck and his head connect and come down just a little bit to where the shoulders would be. And I'm going to have this arm come out straight and then bend up, and then I'm going to have his little hand. And this other one is going to come out from the same place. This one's going to come out and kind of bend down, and then his hand's going to go in this way. So he looks like it's almost like an Egyptian walk, like you would see on hieroglyphs. There's my first character. Now, I'm going to switch to my outlining tool. I'm going to go ahead and use my permanent marker, but you can use, again, a crayon or a regular marker, but you want to have some type of outlining tool. And we're going to start by outlining most of his head, but I'm going to leave a little bit at the bottom that's not outlined. So it's going to look like this. I'm going to start kind of on to the side here. I'm going to go around his head, and then I'm going to end right about there. So I didn't close it yet. Then I'm going to come out from there and start to go around the arm. So I'm going to come from here and I'm going to follow the shape of the arm. See the space in between the arm and the outline. Make sure to keep that space. I'm going to come down, around, and here I'm going to just add a little bit of a curve for the edge of the hand. And then I'm going to come back up. And again, I'm not touching that stick figure that I made. I need to make lots of space there, or leave some space there. Now, as I come in towards the center, this is going to be his stomach or his belly. So I don't want to come as close as I did with his arm. So I'm going to come in and stop right about here, leaving more space. Then I'm going to bend around it. I'm going to get closer on the leg. Outline the leg and down around it, and then his foot. This time I'm going to go up, and I'm going to keep going all the way till I get to the other leg. Down around the foot, up a little higher than his knee, and then bend. And again, here I'm going to leave more space because this is his stomach. Up, around the arm, hand, and back up to his head. And there's my Keith Haring figure. So I started out with that stick person, or what I like to call a skeleton, and then I added the meat around the bones like that. Now, I need to go in on my character now and erase the stick person. When you draw your stick person, you're going to want to draw it really lightly so that it's easy to erase. I had to draw mine really dark or darker because I needed it to show up on the screen for this demonstration. But you're going to want to draw yours pretty light. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and draw my next stick figure. So I'm going to switch back to my pencil and I'm going to draw my next one. And I'm going to draw a circle. I'm going to make this guy a little bit shorter. I'm going to start a little lower. Stick person. This guy's going to have his knees out, so his legs are going to come out and then down, and just a little bit for the foot. Out, down, draw a little bit for the foot. Come up here. Don't remember to start here and come down just a little bit for where his shoulders would be. And the arms are going to go out and up. And then a little hand, and same thing on this one, kind of like a ballerina. That looks pretty good to me. Okay, I'm going to outline the same way. We're going to start just a little bit from his neck, come around, don't close that circle yet. Now this one's a little bit trickier because his arm is actually going to overlap his head. So I'm not going to actually start his arm right here at the end of this line. I'm going to come out a little farther on the side of his head and go over from there. You'll have to really look at yours to figure out if you've got an overlap. And down. Remember, leave it wider at the belly, close to the leg, but not touching. And down. And the second arm is going to also end a little bit higher against his head like that. And I'll erase the skeleton. And there are my two characters. Now, Keith Haring is known for his action marks. And those are those little marks that show that your characters are moving. So when you're looking at where you're going to put your action marks, you want to think about what part of the body is actually moving. So this guy right here, he has his arms up in the air, so his elbows are moving. I'm going to put a little action mark there. And even his hands are waving just a little bit. So I'll put action marks at his hands and his elbows. Now, here in this one, his knees and his feet are going to be moving. So maybe he's kind of kicking this leg, but this one is staying still. He's kind of swinging one leg and both arms. This guy, this leg right here isn't moving at all, so I'm not going to put any action marks here, but he is moving his knee, so I'm going to put some here, and then also at his foot. And then his arm is up in the air, and his hand is waving a little bit. And this one, it's an action mark on his elbow. Now, both my characters are flying right now. I'm going to add the horizon line. You can do a straight horizon line. You can do a curved horizon line. It is completely up to you. I'm going to go ahead and make mine straight across. Remember, when you do your horizon line, that you want to make sure that you do not cut through your characters. It's so important to make sure you don't cut them in half. All right. Now my two characters are standing on the ground. This is going to be a dance floor. So on the bottom part of our picture, we're going to add some type of pattern. In this picture, I used kind of a broken glass pattern, but you could do a checkerboard, you could do some flowers. It's completely up to you. You need to decide. But the bottom part, we're going to create a pattern. And you can look on Canvas. I've left some examples of different patterns you could use. I think for this one, I'm going to do kind of a diagonal checkerboard. So I'm going to do some stripes first. Then I'm going to go the opposite direction. Oh, I like that. That looks good. All right, there are my awesome Keith Haring characters on my dance floor. This is the end of part 1 of our drawing, or day 1. We're going to go ahead and, or you're going to go ahead and finish up your drawing, and then we're going to meet back here tomorrow for day 2. Bye, everybody.